Hello.
Hi, we're waiting for people to sign on.
You said 1:45.
I know, but I just got something from Johnny, was asking.
Messed up my shirt. I'll be on the Zoom for Tzvika Shia. I can't come. I have another meeting later, but I'm at the house at 9:00, so I can't make it. Anyway. What's going on? Everything okay?
He's good.
Okay. But Mario knew also. Okay, Johnny's here. Yes, Johnny.
Okay, yeah, nobody there before. Okay, here we go.
We start on Kidushin, right?
We're gonna start with Kidushin, yes.
Gimel. What are we at? Dalet today.
Okay,
Bahalo dama hayitzia layitzia. Leaving an amo leaving the reshus of a master, and a daughter leaving the reshus of her father is not comparable, because hasam nafkila mishusodin legamri. When an ama ivriya reaches naris, then the Adam has no control over her whatsoever. Hacha akati mixra mesir l'chuppah. Father can accept kiddushin, but there's still a connection until the father gives her to the husband by chuppah. However, ba'farsudah miya nafkala mershusa. But there is a similar thing, because this nara muresas aviu bailam for nidareh. Once a girl becomes a nara, the father cannot be made for nidorim by himself. So in that sense, he's like the master of the amo ivri. Freit the Gemara of Ayitzia v'yatsa v'chinam lachidasa. You darshan v'yatsa chinam ein kasef, that there's no money for this Adam, but there's money for the father that he gets kesef kiddushin. The Gemara is bringing a baraisa that Chazal used that for something else. It says, "V'yatzachinam elume bagos." And Amo Ivriya leaves the possession of the master with bagos. Ein kasef elume naris. That once a girl becomes 12, also is yotzei mirshus. Now, immediately, Omer Avina, Im kain lema kra ein kasef without a yud. My ein kasef to teach me both limudim. Ein kesef ladon zav yesh kesef ladon nachar the umani av. Now, umimayda darshina hachi. Why would we learn a drasha with the extra letter yud? The Tanya. We have a baraisa that a bas Kohen who married a Yisrael cannot eat truma anymore. Now, if her husband dies and she has no children, she can go back to her father's house and eat truma, as long as Zera ain't law. If she has no children, Shavel Besavia Minurem Elechem Toichel. Ainly Elazara, Zera Zarminite. What about grandchildren? Let's say she has no children alive, but grandchildren. Talmud Lomer Zera Ein Law, Ayin Law. Look carefully. If there's any Zera, she can't eat truma. Not only, hi George, we're on Dalid Amadal. Not only the Ayin law, the Zera Ein law teaches me something else. Ein liel Zera kosher. Zera apostle minai. What if a woman had a mamzer? Is that considered a Zera to prevent her from eating truma? Talmud Laura, yeah, Zera Ein law, Ayin law. Look at any kind of child. So, Freik the Gemara, you can't learn both of those things from the same drasha. Va'afikte l'zera zara. You already used it to include grandchildren. Zera zara lo yitzrich kra shebnei bonim harein kavod. Grandchildren are automatically considered like children. So ki yitzrich kra linyan zera apostle, like a mom's. V'tana gufei minoli the dor shachi. How do you know that this Tana, from the word Ein, they darshan ayin? We have a analogous case. Amri, ksiv me'ein bila, without a yud. It says me'ein yivami. V'lo ksivu yu yud. Racha ksiv yud. Shmami no l'drasha, so we don't need the yud. So the yud comes to teach me the drasha that we've learned. Now, v'yitzrich lemechtav, we need the pasuk to teach me shekidusha lavia. The ein chinam ein kosev, that taught us that the father gets the money kesef kiddush. V'yitzrich lemechtav shemaisi yadeh lavia, that what a girl earns also belongs to the father. Because if the Torah only would have written Kiddushei Lavia, Havimina Mishum de Lo Tarchabu, she didn't do any work for that. Well, maybe since she worked hard for that money, she gets to keep it. So we have to be told no. If the Torah would have only taught me that the father keeps her earnings, on the other hand, the father gives her food. So in return for the food, she gives him the Maisiyadai. Kiddush, nobody works for. It comes from, it's free money. Maybe it belongs to her. Tzricha, so I needed to be taught in both cases. Gufa. Let's learn something in detail, that which we mentioned in passing. It says, V'yatzachi nam and Amma Ivriya goes out, Eli Mei Bagros when she's 12 and a half. Ein Kasef, Eli Mei Naros. She goes out when she's 12. So the Gemara doesn't understand. Lichtav Rachman Naros V'loi Bai Bagros. Let the Torah write that she goes out at 12, and then certainly she goes out at 12 and a half. Omer Rabba Bazeh V'limed Alzeh. This is one of these examples. You need both. If we would have only had one word, we would have thought usually only goes out by Bagros. And where do we see this concept? Mididava Toishav v'Sochir. The Tanya. Toishav Zakonu Kinyan Oilam. It's an Eved Ivri that decided to stay with his master, and he had his ear pierced. That's called a Toishav. Sachir, that's an Eved Ivri for 6 years. Zeh Konu Kinyan Shon. And there are examples where it says, by Truma, Toshav Kohen v'Sachir lo yochal kodesh, that they do not eat Truma. An Eved Kanani who's Kinyan Kaspo, who's an asset that the Kohen owns, yes. But these people are not Kinyan Kaspo. So the Gemara wants to know, Yeyamer Toishav v'lo Yeyamer Sachir. The Torah should have only written Toishav, a permanent Eved. Vani Oimer Kanu Kinyan Oilam Eina Oichel, if an Eved who is coined to him forever doesn't eat. So Kanu Kinyan Sharin L'Kol Shekin would be a Kal V'chomer. Certainly an Eved who's only coined for 6 years would not eat. The problem is, you look at Yisrael Toishav Zakanu Kinyan Sharin. you wouldn't have written Toshav V'Sachir, but only Toshav, I would have learned that an Eved Ivri who sold for 6 years, he can't eat. Aval Kano Kinyan Oilam Oicha. Ba'Sachir V'Limit Al Toshav. By writing both nouns, we learn both dinim. She'afal Pi Shekano Kinyan Oilam Eina Oicha. So we learn the same thing by Nara and Bagus. These are two different people. The Chinami Kozrach when a Toshav Nirtza Lo Yochel. If the Torah would have written that a permanent Eved doesn't eat, V'Hadar Kosav Yidich, and then written the other one, I would have thought Sachir Milsa Dasa B'Kavach Chomer. Even though it could be learned out with a Kavach Chomer, sometimes the Torah will Milsa Dasa B'Kavach Chomer Torach V'Kosav L'Kra. Will write the pasuk anyways. This is the same girl. If she already goes out when she's 12 years old, what chiddush you tell me? Oh, she also goes out when she's 12 and a half. You become 12 years old before you're 12 and a half. You need both psukim l'nitzchel lebeger the islanders. You have a hormonal abnormality like a Turner syndrome, a female who's XO that doesn't develop secondary sexual characteristics until they're 20 years old. You never even see that. So if she's an Amo Ivriya, she goes out because Salkatay Techamina Benarus Tepuk, Bebagris Loy Tepuk, that you only go out when you develop sexual characteristics. Just because you're a certain age, you don't go out. So maybe an islandess who never develops secondary sexual characteristics, even though she reaches the age, doesn't go out, Kamash Malon, then an islandess goes out as well, once she hits the age. Having sexual characteristics. Those are attributes that does not take her out of her father's possession. Yet, if she's an Amo Ivriya, Motzin Meshus Adom, she does leave her master. Bagrush Motzin Meshusav. A father doesn't have the right to accept Kesef Kidushin for his daughter who's 12 years old, 12 and a half. Eino Din Shmotzin Meshus Adom. So certainly Bagrus should get her out of being an Amo Ivriya without a pasuk, just through logic. El Amar Bar Avashi, Loi Nitzrucha El Ikr Zvina the islandess. How do I know that when you sell an islandess as an Amma, that it's a transaction? A type of girl, it can develop sexual characteristics, Avizvina. So that's a good sale. The law Avizvina. It's not a good sale. Kamash Malon, then it is. Now, V'yatzachinam, we told both that even an island this is sold. You don't even need to write it. It's a kavachomer. Ha Amrina and Milsa doesn't become a chomer tofer kosav l'kra. We already answered. Sometimes the Torah will write a pasuk even though you can learn out with a kavachomer. When hanimili echad lekalishnui, you have no other way out. Aval echad eklishnui mishtaninon. You don't use that teretz if you have a way out. Another Tana brings the source that when you give Kiddushin to a woman, it's with money. It's another limud, the Tanya. Yikach ish isha u'boala v'haya im lo simcha chen beinav ki matzah ve'eres davar, and you give her a divorce. So when it says ki yikach en kichel bekesef, chenu omer v'nosati kesef v'zadeh kach v'imeni, which is also the transaction between Avram and Ephraim. And halodinu uma amo ivri she'ena niknis bebiyah. An Amma is not acquired through Bia. Niknas Bekesef, she can be bought with money. Zush Niknas Bebia. A woman who can be acquired through Bia. Eno din shetikana Bekesef. Kavachomer, she should be able to be bought with money. But that can be broken. Yevama Tochia. A woman who is waiting to get Yibum. Sheniknas Bebia. If the brother sleeps with her, she becomes his wife. But ain't a niknas bekesef. You can't acquire a yavama with money. Well, that's not a kasha. Mali yavama, shekain in the ein niknas b'shtar. You also can't acquire a yavama with a shtar. Toimar bezu, a regular woman can be acquired. Sheniknas b'shtar. You need the pasuk. Halam alikra. I thought you learned it from a kavachomer, and you didn't get rid of the kavachomer. Amar Ravashi, mishum deikala meimar miikara dedina pircha. This halacha would have had a kasha. Me'echa kamaisis. Where did you bring the source? Me'ama ivriya. But ma alam ivriya, sheken yoytza bekesa. She can be bought out of her servitude. You can't divorce a woman with money. So therefore, you need a pasuk. By Amo Ivriya. Because of Rachmana, only ki kachish avamina Kidushin. When a husband gives Kiddushin to a woman, maybe Didav, she keeps it. Because Rachman v'yotzechinam, tell me no, that the father gets it, if it's his daughter, who's not a Bulgaris. And ikas of chinam v'yotzechinam, maybe she gives money to him to get Kiddushin. Because Rachman ki yikach ish isha. So the transaction goes from him to her, not from her to him. Now, ubala, when it says kiyikach ish ubala, melamed sheniknas bebia, that one of the methodologies of acquiring kiddushin is with bia. So then, why do I need a pasuk? Balo dinu, it's a kavachomer. A yavama does not become, you don't fulfill yibum with money. It's only niknas bebia. Zu, sheniknas bekesef. A regular woman who's acquired with money. Eino din sheniknas bebia. So Amo Ivriya took chiach. Sheniknas bekesef einik, but the einiknas bebia. And Amo Ivriya is acquired with money, but is not with Bia. But that's not a kasha. Malam Ivriya she'ein kinyon l'shum ishus. You acquire her for work, not for marriage. Tomer bezu, regular woman, is kinyon l'shum ishus. So I would think misvara that she would be kona with intimacy. Talmud lomer ubala. So I need a pasuk. V'lama likra. You just told me you could learn it from a kavachomer. Amar Ravashi, mishum dekala meimar mikar dedina pircha. It really is a halacha that is set up to be knocked out of the box. Because mehecha kamaisis law, where are you learning this from? Miyavama. But you could say mali yavama, shekain zakuka voimedes. There's already a zika. There's a connection between the yavama and the brother. So maybe because of the zika, bia is enough. Timer bezu, a regular woman who we have not given kiddushin to. She'ein zakukin voimedes. There's no connection between you and her. So bia alone would not work. Talmud Lamer ubala, I need a pasuk to tell me that bia will work to acquire her big kiddush. Okay, now let's go to pay tests.